Gary Ridgway, known as the Green River Killer, is an American serial killer who murdered 71 women and teenage girls in Washington state in the 1980s and 1990s, making him by proven murder to be the second most prolific American serial killer, and by possible or probable victims, the most prolific American serial killer ever. Hi there, my name is Misha. Welcome to All Things True Crime, or welcome back if you're a regular. If you enjoy this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss my next video. That's All Things True Crime. Gary Leon Ridgway is born on February 18th, 1949, in Salt Lake City, Utah. He is the second of three children, all boys, born to Thomas and Mary Ridgway. His home life is a struggle. His mother is extremely domineering, and his parents are known to engage in frequent violent arguments with the boys present. A little fact to stash away in your mind later that will resurface is that his father is a bus driver who is always complaining about the streets being littered with prostitutes, like on every corner. So little Gary is a bedwetter until around age 13. His mom, being the abusive, domineering woman she is, washes his genitals herself every time after he wets the bed. She belittles him and embarrasses him for bedwetting in front of his family. It's a weird psychological, emotional punishment or something. I don't know. It's just yikes. So as a result of his mother's nastiness, he says he feels a combination of anger and sexual attraction toward her, while also fantasizing about murdering her. So it's pretty messed up. Due to dyslexia, he is held back a year during high school. At age 16, he targets a 6-year-old boy. He leads the boy into the woods and stabs him in the liver. He manages to guide the knife just straight through the ribs and right into the liver. The boy survives the assault, though. Ridgway has a reported IQ to be in the low 80s, like 82, which is classified as low or low average. However, he takes a more disciplined and intelligent approach to serial murder than any other American serial killer ever has. Given his dyslexia, being held back, and his low IQ, he barely graduates high school, but he does graduate from Thai High School in 1969. He marries his high school girlfriend, Claudia. Shortly after, he joins the Navy and is quickly deployed to Vietnam. Nam. So he serves aboard a supply ship, which supports battleships and such. However, he does see a little bit of combat. I mean, how could you not? Vietnam War was insane. So during his time in Vietnam, he frequently engages in the intercourse, the sex, with prostitutes and contracts an STD or maybe more than one. This angers him. Okay, so then just, don't sleep around. How about that? Or use protection, I guess. Probably just don't do it though. Needless to say, his marriage to his high school sweetheart ends within 1 year. No surprise. He is described by family and friends as friendly, but maybe just a little bit odd. Just a strange guy, which, isn't a crime. A lot of us are odd ducks, right? So while he's sleeping with prostitutes and married to wife number 1, she is also cheating on him. He marries a second time to a woman named Maria, and their marriage ends in divorce with them both cheating on the other again. Maria also claims he has placed her in a chokehold before. I think he just needs to stay single. Jeez. So during his marriage to Maria, he becomes religious and part of a Methodist church. He becomes super strict about it, though, and dedicated, going door to door to talk with people about God, reading the Bible a lot at home and at work, and insisting that Maria join him in following his very strict teachings and beliefs that he adopts. He shows emotion during church devotional times, often crying while reading the Bible and during church services. All the while, he's still sleeping with prostitutes and trying to get his wife to engage with him in sexual activities, like in the public or other inappropriate places. Police eventually uncover that some of these places that he wanted to do this with his wife were locations where victims' bodies had been dumped, buried. So ex-wives and girlfriends have all admitted that Ridgway has an insatiable desire for the sex and would demand it multiple times per day. He admits he is obsessed with prostitutes, but also struggles with how his interactions with them conflict with his faith And then you also throw in there his father's ingrained thought that they're all just littering the streets. He has one child with his second wife, a son, Matthew. Starting in as early as 1973, but likely in 1982 and ending in 1998, so a big range there, he is believed to have murdered at least 71 teenage girls and women near Seattle and Tacoma. When asked, he says he has committed so many murders that he's lost count. His primary target is prostitutes and runaways, the majority of whom he murders between 82 and 84 that he finds and picks up along Pacific Highway South. His stupid ruse is showing the women a picture of his son to gain their trust. Someone with a cute child must not be a diabolical psychopath, right? So his MO is just after finishing the sex, he wraps his arm around their neck and yanks back, strangling them. Most murders are committed in his home, his truck, or a secluded area, typically a wooded area. He prefers to dump his victims in South King County and the wooded areas around the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport and the Green River, hence his moniker, the Green River Killer. The few outliers are 4 bodies found in Portland. He simply put them there to confuse the police. What a psycho. So he leaves the bodies in clusters typically, and they're usually left nude and posed. Sometimes he returns to the dumping sites to have intercourse with the decomposing corpses. While doing this, it doesn't provide him with a heightened experience. He does admit that he enjoys the convenience of it, as he doesn't have to hunt and murder a woman first, which is interesting because some killers, that's the draw, is the hunt and the murder. For him, maybe it was just the sex. I don't know. So, he can just go to the site and defile the remains. He also likes that it limits his exposure and potential for capture. So, he's thinking up here. He's lucky, and most of the bodies aren't found until just skeletons remain. He often contaminates the dump sites on purpose with random garbage belonging to other people, like cigarettes and gum. A few times he takes them across state lines to further confuse the police. In the early 1980s, King County Sheriff forms the Green River Task Force to officially investigate the murders. The task force includes 2 guys who spent time interviewing Ted Bundy in '84, men by the name of Robert Keppel and Dave Reichert. Now, these guys interview Bundy specifically about the Green River Killer. They ask him questions. They don't know who he is yet, who the Green River Killer is yet. So they ask him Ted Bundy questions, hoping that he'll be able to help them identify the murderer. I mean, it's pretty interesting, right? How they go to a serial killer to help find another serial killer. We know what happens occasionally, but it's very interesting. So Bundy helps them actually by offering his thoughts and opinions on the motivations of the murderer, as well as his potential, like his behavior and psychology. So I guess either Bundy's really smart, or he and Ridgway aren't too different, because he tells investigators that the murderer is going to be revisiting the dump sites to have sex with the victims' corpses, and he also suggests that if they locate a fresh grave at a dump site, to stake it out because he will return. He's very right. FBI agent Douglas, one of the very first profilers, offers his profile of the murderer as well, and it's a little bit off on his profile, but is relatively accurate. In 1982, Ridgway is arrested on prostitution charges. However, he doesn't become a suspect in the Green River case until '83. In '84, he passes a polygraph test. In '85, he begins dating Judith, who will become his 3rd wife in 1988. She later tells police that when she moved into his house, he didn't have carpet, which cops said is likely due to him wrapping a body up in it. She goes on to say that he would leave early for work, presumably for overtime pay, and she never ever suspected him of committing any murders and hadn't ever even heard of the Green River Killer before, as she never watched the news. Now, Ridgway will later admit that his murder rate went down while married to Judith because he really loved her and she made him happy. That's interesting as well. In 1987, police are able to obtain hair and saliva samples. In 2001, these DNA samples are tested and provide enough evidence for investigators to get an arrest warrant. On November 30th, 2001, Ridgway's at work at the Kenworth truck factory where he's a spray painter. He's arrested on suspicion of murdering 4 women that occurred nearly 20 years prior. DNA evidence definitively links semen left in the victims to his saliva sample taken by the police years earlier. These 4 victims are Marcia Chapman, Opal Mills, Cynthia Hines, and Carol Ann Christensen. 3 more victims are added to the indictment after a forensic scientist links the spray paint that he uses at work as a match to that found on the victims. Super cool. These are microscopic particles, mind you, that we're talking about here. So these victims are Wendy Caulfield, Deborah Bonner, and Deborah Estes. So cool how the forensic investigators can find that stuff. It's incredible. So in November 2003, Ridgway pleads guilty to 48 counts of aggravated first-degree murder. 48 counts. That's insane. He is spared the death penalty, however, in exchange for assisting investigators in finding the remains of his victims. The prosecutor's office admits that without this deal, they only had him on 7 counts. Now, it's plenty of jail time to keep him in prison the rest of his life. But this deal added 41 additional victims' names. The prosecutor's office goes on to say that the mercy provided to Ridgway as part of the plea deal isn't and shouldn't be directed at him, but instead at the families of the victims. That's well said. On December 18, 2003, Ridgway is sentenced to 48 life sentences without the possibility of parole, and 1 life sentence to be served consecutively. He's also charged with 48 counts of tampering with evidence, which adds an additional 10 years for each charge. It's an additional 480 years. He leads police to multiple bodies, but many are also found by hikers, just a skull popping up here and there. In the end, he confessed to more confirmed murders than any other American serial killer, and second only to Pedro Lopez in the world. In some of his police-recorded interviews, he admits to murdering 65 women. In another video, he admits to murdering 71 and having the sex with them as well. His confession, I say that not to be silly. His confession includes an acknowledgement that he targets prostitutes because they are easy to pick up and that he hates them anyway. He goes on to say that he started burying the bodies to resist the urge to come back full of sex. He also claims that murdering young women was his career. It's nuts. This guy is exceptionally nuts. He is so good at hiding his crimes and his craziness that his third wife of 17 years is absolutely flabbergasted that he's a serial killer. Now, if you're like me, you're like, sure. But in this case, I'm serious. She is quoted as saying, "He treated me like a newlywed." Another odd thing is they never found any evidence of him keeping any trophies from his kills. Instead, he steals their jewelry and then leaves it in the women's restroom at the truck plant where he works. So weird. Of this, he says, "My favorite thing was maybe if someone's walking around with a piece of jewelry that they found in the bathroom." So he got off on knowing that random women were wearing jewelry of women that he murdered? I don't know. He is extremely meticulous, too. He wears gloves during every encounter, as he calls them, date. I think he called them a date. He picks these girls up when they're alone. He buys new tires for his truck if he feels he drove too close to the dump site. One time a girl badly scratched his arm, so to cover it up, he poured battery acid on it. I mean, what? All from the guy who said if the prostitutes had any money on them, it was like they were paying him to murder them. And how did he pass a polygraph? I mean, I know they're only 70-ish% accurate, but still, I mean, that baffles me. He's one cold dude. Thankfully, he provided that saliva sample, which is what brought him down in the end. For him to be able to take such pride in murdering that he considered it his career, but have the self-control to keep it a secret and not tell anybody is remarkable. His obsession with self-preservation is truly incredible. They're all after it. All of these serial nutsos are after, but not quite to this degree. It bleeds over into antisocial behavior, but not Ridgway. He wasn't considered a loner. He won awards at work. No real signs of being nuts. It was once described that Ridgway had a gift for hiding the evil inside him so well and so deeply that it's like it only existed when he was out and about looking for his next victim. I wonder if this is an example of like extreme multiple personality disorder. Like he hid it so well, maybe it was just because there was another person. I don't know. It's just my speculation. The prosecution's summary concluded that, quote, "Those who thought they knew Ridgway best did not know him at all." That's all for this episode of Serial Killers. If you enjoyed this video, please take a quick second to like it and subscribe to my channel, All Things True Crime. The subscribe button is right below the video, and then ding the bell, that way you won't miss my next video. I upload every Tuesday or Wednesday. On the next episode of Serial Killers, we're going to learn all about Pedro Lopez, known as the Monster of the Andes. This will be another redo due to poor audio quality. I covered him in my second ever video, but due to audio issues, I need to remake it and make it even better. Haha. This dude committed over 350 murders before being caught. His murders spanned Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. It's one crazy story. Until next time, stay safe.